In the upcoming video, Noam Chomsky raises several concerns about the state of American democracy. Here are some key points Chomsky has made in general. Chomsky argues that the U.S. system concentrates power with wealthy elites and corporations, leaving the public with little say in decision-making. He believes the Constitution itself may need reform to create a more participatory democracy. The influence of money in elections is a major concern for Chomsky. He sees it as a system where wealthy interests drown out the voices of ordinary citizens. Now off to this great video clip of Noam Chomsky, and following a few more key points.
American democracy is what we call a guided democracy in countries that we don't like Iran. So in Iran, elections are, putting aside questions of the credibility of elections, the candidates are vetted by the leadership, the clerical leadership. Guardian Council decides who can run. Okay, we're pretty much the same. Here, candidates are vetted by corporate interests. And the way it's done is that unless you have huge corporate financing and support, you just can't run. I mean, Obama won over McCain primarily because the financial institutions liked him better, so poured money into his campaign much more than McCain. And if you check funding and polls, you find that the advertising and so on, in fact, carried him over the edge. And that's true all the way along. I mean, elections are basically bought. Congress, for example, has a very low ranking among the population. It's in the teens sometimes. Nevertheless, the overwhelming majority of incumbents win. What does that tell you? It tells you people are voting for candidates that they don't like because they don't have any choice. These are fundamental defects in the democratic system. It's a huge democratic deficit, as it's called, and it shows up. There's a very sharp division between public policy and public attitudes on a host of major issues. In fact, both political parties are well to the right of the population on a great number of critical issues, and the population feels it can't do anything about it. So, for example, last polls I saw about this, about 80% of the population said the government doesn't work for the people, it works for a few big interests looking out for themselves. Well, that's 80% of the population. But if you had asked the next question, they didn't do it, well, what are you going to do about it? People probably would have said, well, I can't do anything. There's no way to do anything about the fact that the government's in the pockets of the rich. And a few big interests, corporate interests primarily. That feeling of helplessness, impotence, everything's run by somebody else, I can't do anything about it, that reflects a democratic deficit. These are enormous problems with the way the democratic system functions. I mean, there's something similar in most places, but the United States is pretty extreme in this regard among the industrial democracies.
Chomsky criticizes the decline of social programs that benefit the working class and the poor. He views this as a weakening of democracy when basic needs aren't met for a large portion of the population. Chomsky is critical of U.S. foreign policy, arguing that the country often undermines democratic movements abroad while promoting its own interests through military intervention. Chomsky is concerned about the decline in trust in institutions and rising political polarization. He sees this as a threat to a functioning democracy. Well, I hope you liked the video and give the channel a subscribe. If you wish, you can join the channel as a member, or leave a special thanks, that would be greatly appreciated. Also, if you would check out and subscribe to my other channel, Progressive Movement, the link is in the homepage and in the comment section. Thank you. Now, take care and bye-bye.